Friends, how are you? I hope you all are safe at home. Home, stay safe. Today in this online session, we are going to discuss about pollination, significance of pollination, types of pollination, advantages and disadvantages of self and cross pollination. So let us start. As you all know that both male and female gametes are born on different structure. So it is necessary to meet them for fusion or union of both the gametes. For this, pollination is required. It is must. Thus, what is pollination? It is the transfer of pollen grain from anther to stigma. This is the figure showing pollination. You can see here that how the pollen is taken by insects to land on stigma. Let us see what is the significance of pollination. When pollination will not take place, then there will be no release of male gametes and hence no union or no fusion. So, no fertilization. Thus, pollination leads to fertilization resulting in the production of seeds and fruits and hence it helps in continuity of life. Pollination plays an important role in plant breeding. It has impact on 5 important aspects. Let us see what are these. That is gene action, genetic constitution, adaptability, genetic purity and transfer of genes. Now it is about types of pollination. Pollination is of two types, that is self-pollination and cross-pollination. Observe the given figure and make an analysis of it, that what is the difference between self and cross-pollination. Can you find any differences? Okay, let us see. In self-pollination, the pollen grains are transferred from anther to stigma of same flower or another flower of same plant. What is this? Self pollination is transfer of pollen grains from anther to the stigma of same flower or another flower of same plant. It is of two types, autogamy and geitonogamy. It is clear from the figure about the differences between autogamy and geitonogamy. Now we will discuss about autogamy. When pollen grains are transferred from anther to stigma of same flower, as we have seen in the previous figure, then it is called as autogamy. It always takes place in bisexual flower. There are also some plants such as viola, that is common pansy, oxalis and commelia, which produces two types of flower, that is chasmogamous and clistogamous. Chasmogamous flowers are similar to flowers of other species, but clistogamous flowers never open. So, in this case, autogamy only takes place. Why? Because it never opens. So, inside the flower only, the pollination is taking place within the same flower. Now, look at the figure about the position of chasmogamous and clistogamous flower. Let us see about geitonogamy. In this case, the transfer of pollen grains takes place from anther of one flower to the stigma of another flower of same plant. This is very important. Of same plant. It is taking place in monoecious plant, that is in those plant where male and female flowers are born on the same plant. In the given figure, you may observe about the differences between autogamy and geitonogamy. In the first figure, type 1, it is autogamy, and in the second figure, that is type 2, it is geitonogamy, because here you are observing that two flowers are, but the plant is same. Now we will learn about the advantages and disadvantages of self-pollination. First of all, we will see about advantages. Self-pollination helps in maintaining the purity of species. In this case, there is no need to produce large number of pollen grains, and also flowers need not possess devices to attract pollinators. But there are also disadvantages of self-pollination. Due to self-pollination, progeny get weaker after generation to generation. In this case, there is less chance of production of new species as well as varieties. Now we will study about cross-pollination. In cross-pollination, there is transfer of pollen grains from anther of one flower to the stigma of another flower born on a different plant but of same species. So here two plants. It is also called as allogamy or xenogamy. So in cross pollination, genetically different types of pollen grains are brought to the stigma. Cross pollination requires different agents. It may be abiotic like wind or water, or biotic like insects, birds, bats, snails, or other animals. In the given figure, you may observe how cross pollination takes place. Here, pollen from a stamen sticks to the bee as it visits a flower to collect nectar. When the bee travels to another plant of same type, then pollen grains on the bee stick to a pistil of a flower of other plant, and hence cross pollination is achieved. Now let us see what are the different agents of cross pollination. First one is wind, and the type of pollination by wind is called anemophily. Second is water, and the type of pollination by water is called hydrophily. Likewise, by insects it is called entomophily. By bird it is called ornithophily. By bat it is called chiropterophily. By a snail it is called malacophily. And last, by animals including human being, it is called zoophily. So now you will see here that there are different agents for pollination. Which type of? That is for cross pollination. Let us study about anemophily or wind pollination. Wind pollination is the simplest form of pollination, taking place with the help of wind. There are certain characteristic features of wind pollinated flowers. These flowers are always unisexual, having exposed stamen and versatile anthers, for example in cereus. Pollen grains are light, smooth, dry, and not easily wetted by rain and water. Also, pollen grains are produced in large amount. For example, a single flower of cannabis. Cannabis, do you know? That is in Hindi it is called as bhang. A single flower of cannabis produces over 5 lakh pollen grains. The stigma of such flowers are large, feathery and well exposed. Why it is well exposed? To receive the pollen grains coming by wind. The flowers are also small, inconspicuous and no color, and also there is no odor and no nectar. For example, coconut, palm, maize and grasses. This is the figure showing wind pollinated flower. Here you may observe the feathery stigma and versatile anther. Hydrophily. It is the mode of pollination in which pollen grains are transferred through water, but it does not occur in all aquatic plants. In Zostera marina, Vallisneria, Hydrilla, the flowers show following characteristic features. The flowers are small, colorless, odorless, inconspicuous. The floral parts are unbeatable and stigma is long and sticky. Hydrophily is of two types. One is hypohydrophily, another is epihydrophily. Out of these two, hydrophily is the true hydrophily. Occurs in plants where the pollen grains are water-borne, means they are formed or produced or they are fall on the water. In Zostera marina, the pollen grains are elongated and lack an exine. Here, the pollen grains float below the surface of water and on reaching the stigma, it coiled around it and germinate. Epihydrophily takes over the surface of water in plants like Vallisneria. This is the figure of Vallisneria showing water pollinated flowers. Now there is entomophily or insect pollinated flower. Pollination by insect is the most sure and least wasteful method. Insects visit the flower to collect nectar and for shelter, but pollen grains get adhere to its body. When such loaded insects means they carry the pollen grains. So when such loaded insects visit another flower, its body brushes against the stigma to transfer the pollen grains and hence pollination takes place. Several examples of wind pollinators are bees, moth, butterflies, wasps, etc. The insect pollinated flowers are conspicuous and brightly colored, unlike water and wind pollinated flower. Here the flowers are large and brightly colored. When flowers are small, they are aggregated in the form of inflorescence. Inflorescence you have read in class 11, that is it is the cluster of group of flower is in a group. Wind pollinated flowers have pleasant smell with sweet nectar and the pollen grains are rough and sticky and sometimes show spinous outgrowth. That is, axine is spinous. The stigma of such flowers are sticky and rough. In some cases, like rose and poppy, pollen grains are also edible. In this figure, you will observe the bright colored insect pollinated flower. Next one is ornithophily or bird pollination. The common bird pollinators are hummingbird, smallest bird, hummingbird, sunbird, honey eaters. These birds collect nectar from flower as food. The bird pollinated flowers have funnel shaped or tubular corollas and brightly colored. The floral parts are commonly leathery and produce large amount of nectar and pollen which are sticky. The example of bird pollinated plants are bombax, that is red silk cotton, Dithrina, that is coral tree, Bignonia, Lobelia and agave. These are the bird pollinated flower showing tubular corolla. Next one is about Cheiropterophily or bird pollination. This type of pollination takes place only in tropical region. Where? It is only taking place in tropical region. Bats are nocturnal and they visit the flower which are very large and having strong smell. Bat move very fast and transport pollen grains to long distances. Bat pollinated flowers produce more nectar than bird pollinated flowers. They also have large number of stamens. Example of bird pollinated flowers are sausage tree, that is Kigelia pinnata, the baobab tree, Adansonia, Anthocephalus, that is kadam tree. These are the bat pollinated flower. Now last one is Malecophily or snail pollination. Snail pollination is done in few plants like cobra plant, Erythema and some arum bulbs. The figure showing snail pollinated flower. Now we will read about advantages of cross pollination. There are lot of advantages of cross pollination. It brings genetic variations in the offspring. Different varieties can be produced by cross pollination. Disease resistant plants can be developed. High yielding varieties can be produced. At last, we will see about advantages of cross pollination. Cross pollination is not economical. It is uncertain also. Why? Because it is a matter of chance. Here it is involved. Sometimes addition of undesirable characters may be seen, and also sometimes there is loss of some important characters is observed. So this is all about your today's online session. Thank you children. For any kind of doubts, please write your question in comment section.